What's up, creative crafters? In this video I'm going to show you how I made this Glam tissue box holder with a collab video, so you'll get to see two different ways and two different styles. I'm collaborating with my sister Beverly from Beverly's Stunning Creation, so I'll be sure to link her video in the description box, as well as a link to her vanity tray she made earlier this week. It's so glam and so gorgeous. I just love it. It's absolutely one of my top faves on her channel. She creates beautiful glam Dollar Tree DIYs and on a budget too, so she's definitely one to check out if you haven't already. Add one of her videos at the end of this one, so you can easily just click, stop by, say hi, let her know that Miranda from Creative Living sent you over. And if you are new here from her channel, or you're just new here, or you're already a creative crafter, I'm so glad you clicked on this video. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy. For this project, I start with two of the wooden decor boxes from Dollar Tree, and I've used these before in a recent video, so I'll link that below showing more details on how I prep these if you want to see it. A quick run through is I first remove the bracket off the back of these, and then I press down in each corner with my thumbs until the backing comes off. Then I sand the debris away that's kind of left in the creases, and I wipe away all the dust with a damp cloth before I add any bling to the outside. I use some peel and stick mosaic mirror tiles that I'd purchased from Amazon. Next, I'll be using 4 of the 5x5 mirrors from Dollar Tree. I glue those in the creases with hot glue. Add a good bead in the crease and hold one of the mirrors in place. And I just do one mirror at a time. So while I'm holding one mirror, I hold another mirror beside it to make sure I have the perfect placement with each mirror as I'm gluing these. And I kind of rotate from side to side just to make sure that the current mirror that I'm gluing is in the right place. So when you're doing this, you just want to make sure you don't get your mirror or mirrors too far over in the crease where it's in the path where another mirror is supposed to be. You don't want it to lap over because these fit perfect. I continue to go all the way around, gluing each mirror in the creases until I have 3 mirrored walls. Then I add some duct tape to the backs of the mirrors to secure the seams and strengthen the mirror's placement. I make sure to press the duct tape down really nice and secure into the creases or the seams so that it gives really good support. After I've added the tape on all of those, then I add my 4th and final mirror wall, and of course I also flip it over and tape it down as well. I can already tell that this is working out really nice. These are nice and secure. So next, I'm going to use one of these clear acrylic containers. All we need here is the lid, so I remove the wrap and I set the box to the side. I also used some materials from one of the mirrored plastic serving platters from the wedding section of Dollar Tree. And I just cut the center out and I place my lid on the back of that and I trace the outline of the lid. After I cut the outline, I place the mirrored template on the back of my lid, and it's just a fuzz too big, so I barely trim it. And I do this a few times because I don't want to trim too much of this. I really want a good fit here. So like there's this indentation in the lid, and I'm trying to get my mirrored piece to fit inside of that. Once I have that perfect size, then I just flip it over and I use a pencil to draw a line in the center of the lid, and there's a marking on the plastic, so you're going to get the center, dead center every time. So use that as a guide to outline a hole for my tissue. And then I use a hot knife to create the hole. So I'm going to tell you, I should have made a larger outline for my tissue. I don't know why I thought that little hole would work. So after I did all the work and I decorated it, I had to go back and make an even bigger hole, which ended up working out fine. But that's something you can certainly avoid having to do. So I think it would have been better if I just would have marked and traced out an outline of a rectangle to be about, maybe 1 inch by 3 inches. But I gradually made my hole bigger and bigger until I had the size that I thought would work. And here's a hot knife tip. I've been asked this many times, how to remove the plastic buildup that the hot knife creates. And I've had that problem, so I've tried to work on this as well. So what I did here is I just took some pliers and I tried to remove it both ways. Once with the plastic kind of cooled off and hardened, and I would try to do it, with the plastic still warm. Either way, it seems to work pretty good. So I just use pliers and I chip away the plastic if it's hardened, and you just kind of, crunch it and it just brittle, so it just falls off. And then when it's warm, it just, pulls off, and then it hardens when it's in the pliers, so it just like falls right off of the pliers. So that's what I did, and it seemed, like I said, it seemed to work really well. So I hope maybe this little trick can help someone. You don't have to get the whole perfect, because we're going to add some bling to tie all this in together anyway, so you can easily disguise any imperfections. Once I have my hole like I like, then I take my mirrored piece and I trace the hole out on that, and then I cut the outline out with a box cutter. Then I'll flip the lid over upside down, and I use very little hot glue around the edges on the outside. Just a little drop here and there, and then I use some clear tape to help ensure the mirror is in place. Now it's time to decorate the lid. So I have some dot gems, which I will use here in a moment, but I also have some that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. Now the difference is the backing. The gem is the exact same. So with the Dollar Tree ones, the gems, you have to pull them off like one strand at a time, whereas the Hobby Lobby ones, it's all on one entire sheet. So I can just cut to fit this and just peel and stick one big patch of gems, and that's exactly what I do. I see where my hole for my tissue is, and then I cut out 2 rows of gems before sticking the patch of gems to the lid. Just peel and stick the whole patch at one time. Next, I glue the lid to the wooden box, and be sure you don't glue it where the crease is. Glue the lid to the smooth side of the box. So I just use hot glue here. Oh, and I added some tape on the back where my mirror is, because if you remember earlier, I said that I had to make my hole bigger, and so I added some tape to prevent the adhesive on the gems from snagging the tissue. Next, I use the Dollar Tree gems, and I add 1 row of gems around the outside ledge of the lid. To tie all this in together, I use some more mosaic mirrors. This time I go with 3 rows, and again, it's peel and stick all the way around the tops, but these are going to touch the top of the lid and the wooden box, so they're going to have a slight slant to them. Next, I use more dot gems, and I go around the edges of the mirrors. In this case, the diamond wrap may have been the better choice, because the adhesive is so strong on the diamond wrap. The dot gems are not, the adhesive is not that strong, so I had to go back and add a little bit of glue, or maybe the Hobby Lobby gems would have been a better choice. Anything with a better adhesive. Now I just go around the bottom wooden box with some gems, and I let this sit for a little while. I come back and I glue my top down, but it's so heavy, you may not even want to glue it down. I even thought about making a bottom for this tissue box and using it like a regular open and close kind of box. Finally, I just take some bling that I have from Totally Dazzled, and I use some clear adhesive glue to adhere these in the center on each one of my mirrors, and I even use a little rubber band to help me keep everything in the center. I used 4 of the 5x5 mirrors, 2 of the wooden boxes, 1 acrylic container, 1 serving platter, and some bling. So you can create one like this for about $10, and I really like how all these products came together to create this. But I want to know what you think. I hope you're inspired by our collab. Don't forget to say hi to Beverly and see how she made hers. I'm super crazy excited to show you this next project. I'm almost finished with it. It's a whole new experience, or should I say experiment. I've never made anything like this before. I think you're really going to like it. So I'll see you then. Take care and happy crafting.